Any questions?
Did Mr Hockey tell you this morning that he intends to challenge you tomorrow?
Look, you can ask Mr Hockey about his intentions. I can only tell you about my intention. Okay. I will be standing tomorrow. I am the leader and I'll be standing tomorrow.
Mr Turnbull, yesterday you were willing to say that you had Mr Hockey's support. Why are you not willing to say that, having met with him now?
Well, why are you not willing to ask me the question first?
Well,
I don't want to. It's a long time since I was a reporter at Channel 9. Now, the question, I'll tell you what, Tim, I'll help you out. The question is, when Mr Hockey came to see you today, did he say you had his support? That's the question.
And the answer?
Well, no, you ask it. Come on.
Mr Turnbull, do you have the support of Mr Hockey?
No, you've got to ask me, did Mr Hockey tell me I had his support?
Okay. Did Mr Hockey tell you that he is supporting you in tomorrow's leadership?
Yeah, he is definitely going. He told me he would support me tomorrow in the spill. If there's a spill moved, well, there will be a spill moved. He told me that he'd vote against a spill.
And if the spill is successful, will he stand against you?
Well, that's a matter for him. If the leadership is vacant, anyone can run. You've got to ask him.
What did he tell you about his intentions, knowing that scenario?
Well, you should ask Mr Hockey that, because he'll give you reliable first-hand testimony.
Mr Turnbull, would you consider that he'd be free of any obligation to you, to be loyal to you, if there is a spill that declares it vacant? Would you consider that would release any obligation he have to you?
Look, I'll leave all of those metaphysical questions you can address to Mr Hockey.
But I to address those questions to Mr Hockey, and he's just having a coffee and getting a bit of fresh air. So if you could enlighten us, it would make our jobs a lot easier.
Well, I have many heavy duties as Leader of the Opposition, holding the government to account, improving the emissions trading scheme, but making your life easier is not one of the highest priorities. So I think you should speak to Mr Hockey yourself.
Are you surprised at the level of difficulty you're having in getting the Liberal Party, to embrace your position on the ETS?
Well, let me just say this to you. The Liberal Party has embraced my position, which is the Shadow Cabinet's position, on the emissions trading scheme. Let's just go through the chronology. I just want to get this straight with you. On the 18th of October, the Coalition Party Room overwhelmingly endorsed the recommendation of the Shadow Cabinet that a set of amendments be taken to the government. A set of amendments which was an offer that if the government would meet them, or meet them to our satisfaction, we would pass the legislation. Last week, the government came back with its response, which did not meet all of our requests, obviously, but met them substantially. The government made substantial concessions, and many of you reported those concessions as being a great win for the coalition. Indeed, the government's been criticised for giving up too much. There was a Coalition Party Room meeting which approved the recommendation of the Shadow Cabinet that an agreement, in effect, between us and the government be arrived at. There was some criticism of that, as you know, from some quarters, and there was a spill motion moved against my leadership the next day, which was defeated. So within 36 hours of that, there has been, because the people that were unsuccessful in overturning my leadership on Wednesday were unhappy with the fact that they didn't have the numbers, they're now seeking to do it again.